Hello, students. I'm Christopher Lyle Simmons, and I'm here to educate you on information and communication technology. Today is Tuesday, March 31st, and this is our first day of instruction for quarter number 4. Wow. If this is the first time that you have visited my Google Classroom this quarter, then go back and check out yesterday's information. I want to make sure that you're not missing any important stuff. This is the first lesson in our new unit, Road to the Smartphone. That's official now, Road to the Smartphone. Ready? We're going to go way back in history. So originally when humans needed to do computations, large computations, they would use these, right? This plus this. Then they started being able to document things on the ground, in the dust, on the trees. Eventually, around 6,600 years ago, the abacus was invented. And that was used to do really complex computations. In about the middle of the 1600s, so 300 years ago, they came up with something called the slide rule. The slide rule was successful for hundreds of years. Now, in what was the year? 1830, there was this dude, Charles Babbage, and he was an inventor and a mathematician, and he designed a machine called the analytical engine. Now, he was never able to fully complete building it. It was a pretty complex machine, but people all over the world analyzed this analytical machine. He worked with a lady named Lady Ada Lovelace. Now, she looked at the machine and saw it more than just a calculator or a computer. She would look at the punch cards that you would insert into the machine in order to do computation and realize that there was other applications outside of mathematics, other apps that could be built. She's seen as the first computer programmer, and she envisioned being able to compose music and do graphic design, all these things using something like the analytical machine. Now, this was before electricity was integrated into these machines. So really the inventor, the true inventor of the computer, was a guy by the name of Conrad Zuse. Now, he had put this machine together just before World War II. But once World War II began, that's when things really took off. The United States and the British, they were really trying to decode some of the German secret messages. And they devised these ginormous machines. The ENIAC was the name of one of them. The Colossus was another one. These giant computers that used vacuum tubes, which were a pretty large electronic device. Thousands of these vacuum tubes in order to do what today would be done with something as simple as, a regular calculator you use in math class. After World War II, that's when computers really started to take off. With the advent of something called the transistor, it replaced the vacuum tube, and so everything got a little bit smaller. You didn't need a whole warehouse to do computations. You could do everything in the size of a small room. Well, things got even better when they started putting all these little transistors onto a single board. This was called an integrated circuit. So the first generation was vacuum tubes, second generation was transistors, third generations were integrated circuits, but things really changed in the 1970s, so not very long ago. That's when they were able to put everything together really, really small, teeny tiny, and these things called a microprocessor. Now, the microprocessor changed the whole game, right? Before, computers were used by governments and for large, large businesses, and they took up a lot of space, even when they were working with the integrated circuit. But with this microprocessor, they came up with something that you can actually have in your home. In 1975, the Altair 8800 came out. Now, this was a personal computer that you could keep at your house, although it didn't look like anything that you would recognize today. It did not have a monitor, it didn't have keyboard or mouse, but companies like Microsoft and Apple used the Altair 8800 in order to make computers as we know them today. So, what do I still have to do, Mr. Simmons? Make sure that you've gone in and done your attendance, that you've done your 10 minutes of typing, you've watched this video, watch Brain Pop, do the research and writing, and finish with the quiz. See you all tomorrow.